On a snowy New Year's Eve in Green Bay, Wisconsin, we welcome you to Week 17 of the NFL, and we welcome you to the final regular season game on the Beagle Sports Network this season. Today, the Minnesota Vikings visit the Green Bay Packers in a renewal of one of football's greatest rivalries. Going into today, the Packers are 7-8, third in the NFC North after their Christmas Eve win against Miami. The Vikings, who have already clinched the division title, are 12-3. They've taken incredibly miraculous victories in the past 2 weeks. On December 17th, they were able to pull off the biggest comeback in NFL history, beating the Indianapolis Colts 39-36 after being down 33-0 at halftime. Last week, they defeated the New York Giants 27-24 thanks to a last-second 61-yard field goal from Greg Joseph, barely avoiding overtime. Let's take a look at the passing offense for both teams. The Packers have scored 39 passing touchdowns this season with 4,178 total pass yards. Their completion percentage is 69.3. The Vikings, on the other hand, have scored 34 passing touchdowns with 4,232 pass yards. They barely edge out Green Bay on completion percentage with 69.7%. The players are ready, the fans are ready, and we are ready. So from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's time for kickoff between the Vikings and the Packers. Well, in the immortal words of Michael Buffer, let's get ready to rumble. This is the final regular season game this season that we will be covering here on the Beagle Sports Network. The next time we bring the NFL to you, it will be the playoffs, it will be the divisional round. We'll be covering all 4 games, but this, for the regular season, is the end. Minnesota and Green Bay, the renewal of an immortal rivalry with a lot of history behind it. Vikings won the first meeting between the two teams, and what a win it was back in September at US Bank Stadium. Now the Packers look for revenge here on New Year's Eve as it's kicked away and taken to the 24. And with that, here he comes, the legendary Packer quarterback, the successor, perhaps, to Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. 4,115 yards this season, 37 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. One of the great quarterbacks of the game, despite his waning athleticism in his older years, but he can still throw a ball, and that is what matters. And he's looking to throw it all the way into the end zone. There's the first play, the first snap of the day, and it is a first down. 15-yard pass from Rodgers to Tanyan. And the Packer fans are happy about that. Look at that guy. Interesting wig. As we take a look at the replay, fired away by Rodgers. And a good 15-yard pass to start things off here at Lambeau. Here we go, once again, 3-minute like we had in the college football playoff on Thursday. Rodgers fires it away and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. At a certain point, you have to just cut your losses, throw it out of bounds, stop the clock. It'll cost you a down, but 2nd and 10 is better than, say, 2nd and 21, or however far back Rodgers went there. Rodgers, as I said, cutting his losses there. And it might turn out to help the team as he fires it away, but it's picked off! And it's picked off beautifully! Vikings get the ball thanks to an interception by Peterson. Rodgers looking for a Hail Mary there. Peterson jumps out forward, jumps out in front. An amazing block, an amazing way to get the ball, an amazing interception, which will bring out for the first time here today Kirk Cousins. 4,221 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions in the 2021 season. And the Vikings offensive line coming out with him. They'll start on their own 16. It's very far down the field, but what we've seen from the Vikings offense this season proves that might be a non-factor here this afternoon, as Cousins gets ready for his first snap of the day. There it is. The handoff, carried past the line and taken down at the 29. Cook getting 13 yards with that. And the Vikings get a first down on the first play of the game. Somehow managing to make his way through the defense. I kind of expected him to be stopped, but he was able to sneak by somewhat undetected until he got up to the 29. And that is where the Vikings will start this new set of downs. Handoff by Cousins to Cook again. He's taken down at the 34 this time. Gain of 5 on that play. And Campbell gets the tackle for Green Bay, his first of the day. Second and 5 from the 34. Cousins looking to pass for the first time today, and it's going to be another Vikings first down as the receiver is taken down at the 45, and the Packers fans not happy about that. As we take a look at the replay, Cousins fires it away to Cook, who has been his right-hand man in the early going here. Of course, another notable member of the Vikings offense would be Justin Jefferson, the man who has popularized the gritty, his signature touchdown dance. Fired away by Cousins. Cook has a bit of trouble getting through, and is a 7-yard pass. 18 total yards on catches for Cook today. Moving the Vikings up to the 47. The opponent's 47. Now on second down. Looking to get 3 yards for a new set of downs, and it's going to be close, but he did get there. Third rush of the day for Cook. He's got 21 yards total. And the first quarter, just a few seconds remaining here, maybe time for one more play. As it's handed off to Cook once again, and look at him go. Blasts through the defense up to the 27, and it's going to be a good starting position for the Vikings when the second quarter gets underway. Scoreless between these two rivals after 3 minutes, but I have a feeling that that's about to change as the second quarter gets underway. First and 10 at the 27 for the Minnesota Vikings. There's the snap and the handoff to Cook once again, and look at him go! All the way to the 4. Cook, his 5th rush of the day, a total of 61 yards. And definitely the right-hand man today for Kirk Cousins. I don't think anyone else has gotten the ball so far. But the strategy seems to work as number 4 moves it all the way to the 4. A working strategy. As the old idiom goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And now, first and goal from the Vikings from the 4. Handoff to Cook once again. No gain, no loss on that play. Packer defense able to stop him from reaching the end zone on the first play of the new set of downs. But can they keep it going and force the Vikings to kick a field goal? 2nd and goal for Minnesota, still from the 4. Handoff to Cook. He moves diagonally up and gets the first touchdown of the game as the 2-minute warning kicks in. Dalvin Cook puts 6 points on the board for the Minnesota Vikings. The first points of the game for either team. A great partnership between these two, Cousins and Cook. Able to get the first score of the day for the Vikings. And Aaron Rodgers visibly dismayed at that score. He'll come out very, very soon, but not before the point after touchdown, which is good. Minnesota 7, Green Bay 0. 1 minute 59 seconds to go before halftime here at Lambeau Field. A snowy, snowy New Year's Eve. The benches on the sidelines covered with white as the Vikings get set to kick it away for the 2nd time here today. Packers started the game with the ball, did not hold on to it for long as Peterson intercepted a pass from Rodgers. Home team hoping to do better on this possession than the last one. Away goes the ball. In the end zone, he kneels. And the Packers will start at the 25 as Aaron Rodgers leads the offensive line onto the field once again. Mic'd up a little bit there. It is indeed game time. As the team gets hyped and gets ready for the next possession. Hoping to score this time. Rodgers looking to pass with the first play of the possession. And it's a gain of 6 yards. Minnesota allowing 21 total yards here today, all of them passing. Jones with the catch, no huddle here for the Packers. They're just going to keep going, and it's fired away, but it's picked off again! And now the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Vikings! 13-0. Cameron Dantzler Sr. able to score 6 more for the Vikings. An unbelievable pick there. As we take a look at the replay, and much like Peterson, got in front of the planned receiver, took the ball, and this time was able to just keep going, take it into the end zone, make it 13-0, and possibly 14. Let's find out. A 2-touchdown lead for the Vikings with 1 minute and 27 seconds to go before halftime. 14-0 here on New Year's Eve at Lambeau Field. Snow continuing to come down, and there's one good thing about a pick six, and that is the fact that you'll get the ball right back as Rodgers prepares to enter the field once again. 2 straight interceptions on 2 straight possessions. And now, at this point, I'd just be praying to be able to have a possession without a pickoff. 1:27 to play before halftime. There it goes. Catch is made. He kneels in the end zone once again. And Aaron Rodgers, 21 yards today with 2 interceptions. 2 for 5 on passing attempts. It has not been a good day for him so far. Looking to turn the tide as Green Bay gets the ball for the 3rd time here today. First and 10, starting out at the 25. There's the snap. Rodgers fires it away, and he took a gamble there. He hasn't had luck with long passes, but Lazard able to make the 18-yard catch to the joy of the fans here at Lambeau, all decked out in their winter coats as the snow continues to pour down upon Lambeau Field. Less than a minute to go, Rodgers fires it away, and it's better for it to go out of bounds than into the hands of one of the Minnesota Vikings. Second and 10 coming up at the 43 for the Green Bay Packers. There's the snap. Rodgers fires it away, and it's picked off once again. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Fumble! Packers have the ball! I've never seen anything like this. 2 turnovers in one play. Rodgers fires it away. It's intercepted. But as he continues to move through the field, the Packers stop him. He drops it, and they get it back. However, I'm hearing that there's a challenge. And we're going to find out what exactly is being challenged. Whether it was the interception or the subsequent fumble. Here comes the referee again. Let's see what he has to say.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So indeed it was the fumble that was challenged. The interception stands. And now the Vikings will get the ball at the 48. As things just get worse for Green Bay. Cousins, however, forced to employ a short, incomplete pass under pursuit. And it's second and 10 coming up for the Vikings. No gain, no loss. As the clock stops with 46 seconds to go. Cousins fires it away, another short pass, but this time Cook is able to make the catch. Vikings use the first timeout of the game as they lose 2 yards. Third and 12 coming up for Minnesota. 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Lowry with the tackle for the Packers, his first of the day. As the Vikings continue to run roughshod over the Packers and hope to score another touchdown with less than 40 seconds to go before halftime. Pass is caught, but it's 4th and 16 as the Packers use their first timeout. There's a lot of snow today. There's a lot of snow. It's days like this when I am glad that the broadcast booth has air conditioning and heaters. I suspect the conditions are going to be very different for the Super Bowl in Arizona. In real life, it'll be the second Sunday in February. In our universe, our simulation, it'll be the first Sunday of February because we are not covering the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl. No Week 18 here on the Beagle Sports Network, and no wild card. We'll pick back up with the divisional round, as I have said many times before, and we'll carry it all the way to the Super Bowl on February 5th, where we will determine a champion and hope that our simulation of the playoffs is correct. Rodgers gets sacked, and Hunter rejoices as number 12 is taken down. Vikings continuing to have a very good day. 2 timeouts remain for each team. Less than 20 seconds to play before halftime. if they keep playing at all. 2-1-0, and that is it. Halftime here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Minnesota 14, Green Bay 0. 6 minutes gone, 6 minutes to go. 12 offensive snaps for the Vikings, 11 for Green Bay, 7 rush plays, 0. And no rushing yards for the Packers. 65 rushing yards for the Vikings. 41.6% short pass throw frequency with 80% completion. And the Packers, top game tendency, medium passes, 36%. It goes by too fast. I hope you can read all that in the short time that it was displayed on screen, because I couldn't. But whatever. We continue our coverage, as unprofessional as it might seem. As I said, 6 minutes gone, 6 minutes to go. The Packers hoping to turn it around, much like the Vikings did against the Colts 2 weeks ago. But the difference is the Vikings offense has been on point. As I said, they're 12-3 going into today. Packers, on the other hand, are third in the division. And 1 week to go after this. It doesn't look good for their playoff chances. Especially when you consider the fact that the Vikings have a 14-0 lead at the moment. And they will take the ball going into the second half. Return carried out to the 28, and Kirk Cousins with Dalvin Cook will lead the offensive line out onto the field once again. 2 touchdowns today for the Vikings. One scored by Dalvin Cook. The other scored on an interception. So even the defense with some credit here in terms of scoring. As the Vikings start the third quarter with the ball, there's the snap, and it's handed off to Cook. He doesn't get very far. He doesn't get anywhere. No gain, no loss on that play. 2nd and 10 coming up for Minnesota. At the 28. There's the snap. Cousins waiting, fires it away. He had it for a moment, but it's incomplete. And now 3rd and 10. Perhaps the Packers will be able to turn this around. And as the cameraman gets close to the huddle, you can hear the chatter from the various defensive players on the home team, hoping to force Minnesota to convert on this play. But as Cousins fires it away, that will not be happening, at least not right now. Justin Jefferson makes the catch, and the Vikings get another first down. Coaching staff for the Packers talking things out. Obviously unhappy at what just occurred. From the 44, 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. There's the snap. Cousins with the toss to Cook. But it's a loss of 4. And that did not benefit them in any way. Did not go the way they were hoping. And the coach happy with that, as well as the fans. A roar going up from the crowd here at Lambeau. I think I saw a few purple-clad fans, but mostly a sea of green here, matching the colors of the stadium. A huge turnout to one of the most historic grounds in the history of American football for this huge rivalry matchup between the Packers and the Vikings. 3rd and 14 for Minnesota at the 48. Cousins, one more chance to convert. to keep from kicking. Stepping way back, and it's incomplete. 4th and 14 now for the Vikings. And they could kick a field goal. They won the game last week against the Giants on a 61-yard field goal. But with a 2-touchdown lead, maybe it's better to give the opponents the ball, which is exactly what they're going to do. Aaron Rodgers getting ready to make another entrance. Packers will start at the 13 as the offensive line comes out onto the field once again. So now it's crunch time. 4 minutes and 3 seconds to play total. 1:03 left in the third quarter. They need to make some big gains. They need to score touchdowns or at the very least field goals. But even field goals will not get the job done. A 2-touchdown lead for the Vikings. Can you score 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 3 seconds? We're about to find out. Rodgers fires it away, and the receiver stopped just before the line. 2nd and inches coming up at the 23 for the Packers. Both teams with all 3 timeouts intact. Less than 45 seconds remain in the third quarter. There's the snap. Rodgers with the handoff. And it will be another first down as Jones gets 4 yards. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Maybe time for one more play before the last one. Last quarter, that is. Apologies for the technical difficulties. There's the end of the third quarter. Minnesota 14, Green Bay 0. 3 minutes to go here at Lambeau. The very first sporting event in the PS5 era of the Beagle Sports Network. I don't know. Oh, what a pickoff! And again, Rodgers throws an interception, and the Vikings get the ball again. Dantzler Sr., the culprit once again. If you recall, he was the one who scored the touchdown, the second touchdown of the game. Half of the credit will go to him if it is a 2-touchdown win today for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins sent back out onto the field. 2 minutes, 54 seconds to go. And starting at the Packers 28, it's highly likely that it could very well be a 3-touchdown win here this afternoon. 1st and 10. There's the snap. Cousins hands it off, and Cook stopped easily. A loss of 2 on that play for the Vikings. Green Bay allowing 37 passing yards and 63 rushing yards, a total of 100 yards in this game. Campbell with 4 tackles as the Vikings proceed on 2nd and 12. From the 30, Cousins hands off to Cook yet again, and he's stopped after 5 yards. 3rd and 7 coming up at the 25 after the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here at Lambeau. Vikings 14, Packers 0. And as I was saying before the interception, this is the first sporting event in the history of the PS5 era of the Beagle Sports Network. I don't know if you've noticed the next-gen features, but we've made an upgrade a couple weeks before the playoffs are set to begin. We hope you enjoy it. 4th and 7 now for Minnesota. And it looks like they're bringing out the kicker. Greg Joseph, the man who saved the game last week, puts another exclamation point onto this snowy showdown between the Vikings and the Packers. 3 more points on the board. It's 17-0 Minnesota, extending their lead with 1 minute and 51 seconds to go. And at this point, it's just a matter of time Packers in using timeouts would just prolong the inevitable. Maybe they can get one score in before the end, maybe a field goal, but with the amount of interceptions Rodgers has thrown today, I don't know. Away it goes. The 15, the 20. The 20 is where the offensive line will start for perhaps the final time here today. Aaron Rodgers, you see there, about to step from the sidelines once more, along with the offensive line. No way that the Packers can win here. Quite a contrast from last week against Miami. This is the second straight week we've covered the Packers. But like I said, maybe they can get some points in before the final whistle blows here at Lambeau. Gain of 8 on that play. Ball carried to their own 28. 55 total yards here for Green Bay. And no huddle, they're going to keep going. Rodgers steps back to pass. And incomplete. Could have been worse. Could have been another interception, but it's not a first down either. 2 yards away on third down of the 28. Rodgers steps back to pass, fires it away, and it would have been complete, or it would have been an amazing play if he was able to hold on to the ball. But it's incomplete, and it's 4th and 2. The Vikings defense congratulating themselves on stopping the Packers once again. But they're going to go for it. At this point, what do you have to lose? You're already going to lose the game. Why not take a gamble here? It does not pay off. Vikings will get the ball to 27. But nonetheless, they tried. Can't really say good performance out there today by the Packers, because it really wasn't. Rodgers threw at least 3 interceptions. Just an abysmal performance from number 12 here today. And the Vikings taking the ball at the 27. For all we know, this could end up being 24-0. One minute, 7 seconds to go. From the 27, Cousins hands off to Cook. He's taken down after 3 yards. And now less than a minute to play. It is all just a matter of time. No point in using timeouts for either team. Both teams with all 3 intact. Vikings have already got the win secured, and the Packers, with the loss secured, would only be prolonging the inevitable, as I said. Now the Vikings just stalling for time. Cousins hands off to Cook, who advances 1 yard. 3rd and 6. Maybe they'll go for a field goal to close things out here. 15 seconds remain at Lambeau Field. A good performance by the Vikings. Not so good from the Packers. And the final score here today in an NFC North showdown in Week 17. Minnesota 17, Green Bay 0. A shutout victory for the Vikings. Their dominance continues. Another incredible win. 17-0 the final score. As I said, as you can see. There you see the stats for each quarterback. Kirk Cousins versus Aaron Rodgers, a very one-sided matchup. And let's go back to the broadcast booth to close things out. With that win, the Vikings improved to 13-3 Even with the division already clinched, Kirk Cousins and his offensive line continue to dominate their opponents week after week. Again, we will have no coverage of Week 18 or the wild card round. Our divisional round simulations will kick off on Thursday, January 19. We hope to see you there. Tomorrow we've got coverage of the Rose Bowl between Penn State and Utah, and on Tuesday the NBA returns to the channel as the Brooklyn Nets take on the Chicago Bulls at the United Center. We hope to see you there, but we will not see you anymore in 2022. So on behalf of the Beagle Sports Network, have a happy and healthy New Year, and from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, good night.